Yo, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be showcasing the best stock FL Studio plugins within the producer edition of FL Studio. If you guys are enjoying this music production content, I would really appreciate if you left a like on this video. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this video. Okay, so as I just stated, we're going to be in the producer edition of FL Studio. Okay, so I'm just in a blank FL Studio template right here. And I'm going to be showcasing my personal favorite ones for producing beats as well as mixing vocals and things like that. Okay, so the very first plugin, and this is my absolute favorite for creating beats and things like that, is going to be Citrus. Also, if you didn't know, to get to the plugins, all you have to do is go hit this little plus on the left side right here and then scroll down. You can pick from any of these. I'm going to go with Citrus, as I just stated. So Citrus is one of my favorite plugins for starting out with my beats because it has so many different sounds to work with. So right here, if we're just opening up the plugin, this is what you're going to see. It's going to be on this bass sound right here. But if you want to go into the library of sounds, all you have to do is go up here to the presets in the top right, click on that, and then this whole library of sounds will be pulled up. So you're going to have anything from ARP, bass, brass, chromatics, drum, different types of synths, pianos, percussions, strings. There is such a wide variety of sounds within this plugin. Also, if you come over here to the right side where you can see the presets have these little arrows next to them. So if you go under, let's say, the bass right here, they're going to open up a drop down menu with a lot more plugins, which is something I didn't know until a while after I started using this plugin. So this is super important right here, knowing that there are these separate libraries of different sounds right here. So if you don't find a bass that you like under the basic basses over here, you can go under X Nucleon bass. There's also another one with a bunch of different basses here. Another one with a bunch of different basses. So there's just so many sounds in here that you can work with. And yeah, it's super helpful for creating like a main melody or just any sort of counter melody on your beat. There are also some percussion sections, as I mentioned before, but they're not necessarily the best for like trap or poppy type beats. They're kind of just there for like background noise. You wouldn't want to use them for the main drums in your song. But yeah, some of my favorite presets on this plugin right here are Angelic Whistle, usually for like a top counter melody or something like that. It's going to sound like this. It's a little bit high. Kind of mysterious, but it sounds pretty cool. Another section I really like is the piano section. There are a bunch of good ones in here. For instance, FM Rhodes. I really like this kind of new jazz type feel to it. You know, you can get those kind of really cool new modern type sounds in this plugin. I also really like a lot of the basses in the bass section, but I like to use the electric bass on a lot of my beats. But yeah, that's basically me showcasing Citrus right there. As you can see, there are a lot of different sounds you can work with right here, and it's just a very great starting plugin to get you used to kind of using different types of sounds and creating different melodies and counter melodies for your beats. But yeah, I would really recommend this one. Another one I love to use is Flex. It's going to be in the same section down here in Synth Classic. If you click on the plus again, go to Flex down here at the bottom. Now, there are a lot of cool sounds in here. Again, it's kind of like a synthy type plugin. You're going to have a lot of leads and synth basses and also some 808s right here. But yeah, mostly what I use this plugin for is the 808s. If I can't find another one I like, I always just go back to Flex. There's a lot of good 808s within here that you can make some nice trap beats with or any other type of beat you want to make. But yeah. Some of the 808s, however, in this plugin have a little bit of a weird top end. So you can use this cutoff filter down here to kind of cut that top end off and make it hit harder without kind of clipping the audio. Yeah, there's a lot of cool 808s in here, as well as some 808 like synth type things. Here again, you can use this cutoff tool down here to cut off that high end when the 808 initially comes in. As you can hear, that's what that does right there. So yeah, there's the 808s right there. They also have a little section right here for pianos. There are some good sounds in here. One that I really like is the piano mix right here. It is a really good sounding piano right there. So yeah, a great selection of pianos right here that you can use. And then there's the general MIDI library, which kind of has a lot of random sounds in here, but some of them are good. You can search through if you want, or you can just hit the all button right here and go through every single sound within Flex. If you know what you're looking for, it's in alphabetical order, so you can search that way. Or if you're just trying to search for a sound and you just want to see what you like, you can just select one, and then up in the top right where you would click on every preset, you can just hit this little arrow. just keep trying them until you like them. So yeah, those are my two main kind of sound plugins that I like to use for a library of sounds that I can make my beats with. There's a lot of versatility and variety within these plugins, so I would really recommend them. Now, moving on to a different style of stock plugins. I'm going to go into good plugins overall, not necessarily tailored toward production or vocal mixing. You can kind of do both with them. So for these ones, I'm going to go over here into the mixer actually, and I'm going to click on the different slots on the right. So I'm going to click on insert one. And then on the slots, you can just see all the plugins right here. So the very first one I need to talk about is the Fruity Parametric EQ2. Now this is a visual equalizer, so it's going to be able to show you the frequencies that are coming through. If I turn the flex plugin right here onto insert one, just like that, it's going to be selected right here. So I'll be able to see the frequencies I'm playing. So this is like one of the most versatile plugins within FL Studio, or any DAW for that matter, because you can just make your sounds sound so much different based on how you use this plugin. So I can do like a high pass and cut off all the low end. Anything like that. I can do a low pass and cut off all the high end. I can boost the mid. So you could really use this to alter and reinvent the sound of the sound that you're using to create your beats. So you can really manipulate and use this plugin to your advantage to get your beat to sound exactly the way you want it to. I also like to use this when I'm kind of making like a distant sound. So if I want to make something sound like it's far away, I'll do a little bit of a low pass right here and a high pass, and maybe boost the middle a little bit. So that can make it sound like it's either coming through like a telephone or somebody's far away if you want to do it for vocals. So yeah, there's a lot you can do with this plugin, and it's super versatile. I have a lot of videos showing how to use this plugin. So if you want to go check those out after this video, you can. Another plugin that has to be talked about right here is the Fruity Limiter. Now what this can be used for is a lot of different things. What I primarily use it for though is a noise gate. It is very good at that. So if you want to go in here, as you can see, there's a lot of different presets. Such as compression. This plugin usually deals with things pertaining to volume, but what I like using it for is the noise gate. So if I want to go get the noise gate on here, I click preset and then noise gate. Now you're going to see all the knobs change right there. The only one you're going to want to change is the threshold. So what a noise gate does is it's basically like the opposite of compression. Instead of cutting out something above the threshold, it's going to cut something out below the threshold. So if there's any background noise, like your fan running or people talking, you can put a noise gate on it and it's going to cut those out of your recording. So this is super helpful, and the Fruity Limiter does a great job at this. And the last plugin that I'm going to talk about in this video is Fruity Reverb 2. This is my favorite stock reverb plugin within FL Studio. It is pretty versatile. You can get some really good sounds with it, and pairing it up with like the EQ and the limiter can make your songs and or vocals sound very, very unique. So right here, as you can see, the plugin has a lot of different knobs and faders and things like that. Usually it depends on what I'm actually using the reverb for, but if I'm putting reverb on like some background vocals or a far away distant sound within a beat, as you can hear, that reverb's already on this sound right here. But if I turn the wet up, it's going to make it sound a little bit more echoey and distant. As you can see, when I move that toggle up, that sound becomes more prevalent right there. And then if you turn the dry down, the dry signal is going to be cut all the way out, so you're just going to get the wet signal. As you can hear, that sound already sounds a lot different and a little bit more unique than what we started with. As you can hear, you can make some really sick melodies with that already. Another feature of this plugin that I would like to talk about is the decay. What this does is it basically makes the reverb last for longer, the longer you turn it up. So as you can hear, if we just have it on the default setting right here, the reverb's gonna last for that long. But if I turn it up a lot, just like that, it's going to last for way longer. So you can use this to your advantage as well, depending on what you're doing. But if it's like some background sound in your beat, you might want to turn the wet and the decay up a lot, because it's going to give it a cool atmospheric type vibe, depending on what sound you're using. But you can make a cool counter melody, something like this. The last thing I'll talk about with Fruity Reverb is the size. If you turn this up, you can make it sound like the reverb is sounding in a bigger room. And if you turn it down, it can make it sound like it's in a smaller space. So yeah, those are 5 great plugins that you can get started out with creating either beats or vocals within FL Studio. I would really recommend these plugins. Also, if you want to get into vocal mixing, but you're not sure exactly how to do that yet, then you can go down to my website where I have 4 available vocal presets. One is completely free. It's called the Caleb James lead vocal preset. You can download that now. So yeah, if you want to get into that kind of stuff, then you can do that now. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I want you to find